Hey, how y'all doing today? Hope you're having a great day. It's pretty late. I might look tired. I'm not really sure, but God's been putting it in my heart to share my story, share how He changed my life, and share my testimony. So, I'm sorry. I've been struggling to make this video. I don't really know how to share my story that well, so I hope I can share it well to not not for myself, but for someone that might need it. I'm gonna try to keep it short. I don't want to do every single detail, cause it's not about me sharing about my whole life story, but it's more of me glorifying God through my story. But here's my story. So growing up, it was just my mom and I, and my dad was always in and out of jail for my life, and that really affected me. It still does, to be honest. I know I have a Father in heaven that truly loves me, and my earthly father, he does love me. It's complicated. I'll talk about it more. But growing up, it was my mom and I. She's always been my hero. Although we always fight a lot. She's always been my hero because although I didn't have a father, she always stepped up and put food on the table, and I do love her a lot. And if you're watching this, Mom, I love you so much. I know we argue a lot, but I love you still. And I grew up, we went to a Catholic church. My mom's Catholic. It was a Spanish church. And so yeah, I might look like I speak Spanish. Cannot. So I went to all these classes, like for the confirmation, communion, and all these things, and I didn't know what I was learning. I was just like, oh, okay, sure. But all I knew is I had to go early to church just to go and just sit there and be alone because I had no friends. I hated it, and so I grew up resenting God because I was like, is God real? Because I have to do all these things. I'm not learning anything. I don't know anything. And that's what I saw Christianity as. Saw it more of rules you have to follow. But then I would see these people that went to the church, but they wouldn't be following it. So I was like, okay, so why do I care if I don't even like it? So, and then this went on for a long time. Got to middle school. My mom got married to now my ex-stepdad. It's hard to think about these things put me so low in life, but it brought me to God. So I'm thankful for how my life has played out. And we went to middle school. I got to middle school. I went middle 7th grade, but I stayed with my cousins and my aunt. And she's always been like my second mom, and I could always talk to her, and I'm so grateful for her. And she's affected my life in ways that I can never repay her. But so 7th grade, 8th grade, I went to this, and then we moved to our first house, cause we always went from houses to houses and stayed with family members. Never really had a house that was ours, but that was our first house that was ours. And there COVID happened when I was in 8th grade, middle of 8th grade. COVID happened, and I was struggling a lot, really. My mom's always been my hero, but it's hard to say, but she's always said things to me that just the words she's always told me, and she used to say I'm an embarrassment. Sorry. And it affected me a lot. then as COVID it really hit me, and it was one night, I think freshman year or going to sophomore year, around there, where we got in a huge argument, and I got spanked. But it was bad one night, and I just remember I packed my things and I called my mom. I was like, I'm done with this. I don't want to be here anymore. And I called her, and she was like, okay, you can stay at my house, but there's one condition. And well, two. The first condition was you're gonna have to make up with your mom soon. But then she said, you're gonna have to go to youth group with your cousin. And at the time I was like, I don't want to go to youth group. I hate church, like, cause all I knew was the Catholic Church. I was just so hurt, and I was like, I don't want to be with my mom right now. Like, I'm tired of it. And so I was like, okay, if you let me stay at your house, I'll go to church with him. And I did. And as time went on, the church, I kept going because it was kind of an escape from my house, and I didn't really care that it was about God. I just didn't want to be home because I felt so broken and lost at home. I felt like it wasn't a home. I'm not saying this to make my mom seem bad. It's what happened in my life and how it affected me. But she called me an embarrassment, like worthless. I was gonna turn out like my dad. And I've told her a couple of times. She said, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that I even said that. But it's hurt me a lot. And it really affected me, especially because my dad hasn't been in my life, and he's always struggled with drugs and things, and I always was like, if he loved me, then he would stop that and be with me, and I also have an older sister from my dad, and we weren't really always in touch growing up, but we talked a couple times, but now we're really close. And I love you. If you're watching this, probably watching this. I kept going to youth group, and then I think freshman or sophomore year going to junior year was the first time I went to camp. And that camp was the first time I witnessed really people like wanting God, wanting Jesus, and I started to learn more. And I remember after that, I was like, okay, maybe God is real. I was just like, I was at a high where, not to where like, Jesus, I want you. Like, I want you in my life. I want your will to be done in my life. I wasn't there yet, but that was the first time really it opened up my eyes. After that, I went from a high to, one of the worst nights of my life. And I'm not gonna say the full story about this night because I don't want, but it was the worst night of my life. And this night, my mom went to go drop off her friend, and I was just playing Xbox with my friends, and then I heard yelling in the living room and crying, and so I was like, okay, I gotta get off, guys. And I went to the living room, and it was my stepdad. At the time, he was really drunk, and he was screaming, cursing at the phone, and my mom was there. Oh, on the phone. My mom was on the phone, and he was screaming, cursing, and my little sister, she's just crying, and me being an older brother, she ran to me and like hugged my leg, and then he lunged at me and was getting in my face, and I was like, you need to relax, and I grabbed her, ran to my room, and he broke the door, went through, and I don't want to say the full thing, but my mom got home. she called the cops, and that night she was like, I'm done with getting a divorce. And it was so hard for me. It was, to this day, it's been one of the worst nights of my life. And I stayed with my aunt. My mom and little sister went back home because they were getting divorced, and they had to stay home to keep the house. And I was too scared to go home. I didn't feel safe, and every night I would just have nightmares of this night playing over and over. And I was at the lowest point in my life, and it was pretty much the rest of my junior year. I stayed with my aunt, but I loved their family. It's just, I felt so lost and broken. I felt like I didn't belong anywhere because I couldn't even be home. I felt like I wasn't loved. I felt like I was the reason that they were getting divorced. I felt like I was a problem. I felt unworthy of any love from anyone. And this one night, I'm staying there, and I've had thoughts a lot of my life. This night, I sorry. This night I was gonna end my life, and I had it all planned. I had notes written on my phone, and I don't know what, I don't know why, but that night my mom and little sister came over for dinner at my aunt's house, and I was, at the time I was like, okay, well, this is my goodbye then. So we ate dinner. My aunt and mom, they went outside talking. My uncle went in his room. My cousin, he went upstairs to his room, and I was just sitting with my little sister, and she asked me this question. I mean, she was young. She's really young, and she asked me. She was like, "Tony, why don't you live with me anymore? Do you not love me?" And it's such a simple question, but it like completely changed the way I was thinking. I was like, I love you so much. I'm always gonna be here for you. And it brought me to, like, I was being selfish. Like, I'm really gonna end my life tonight. Like, why am I being selfish? She's literally asking if I still love her. Like, she didn't understand the pain I was going through, but she loved me. I was her older brother, and I need to be in her life. So I go upstairs after they left, and this is the first conversation I like truly had one-on-one with God. I said, God, I don't know if that was you putting them there, but I'm gonna give you a shot. And when I'm praying, it was just thought, it was like, wait till camp this summer. And I was like, okay, God, if that's you telling me to wait to camp, I'll wait till camp. But that's it. If I don't feel anything after that, I'm really ending it. And fast forward, I'm just depressed. Every night I couldn't sleep. I had these nightmares every night, just the same night. And fast forward to camp. Night 1 goes, night 2 goes, night 3, and there was just one night. So for worship each night, I was just standing in the rows still. But this one night, my cousin, he was like, "No, let's go to the front." So he's in the front, kind of. I'm like right here behind him, kind of. Not all the way in the front, not all the way in the back, kind of in the middle. This one thing, I looked around and I see all these people just on their knees, crying out to God, praising God. And I remember I was like, God, I see you saving all these people, but I don't feel loved. Like, why do I not feel loved? And I was like, God, if you're real, show me that you love me. Show me that I'm loved. And as I'm praying this, I'm just like this, and I lift my head up. My cousin standing right in front of me, he turns around, he's crying, and he hugs me. He just says, I love you, bro. And in that moment, I just started hugging him. I'm crying, and I have snot all over his shoulder. I'm crying. I just felt so unloved. But then I asked God, show me. And my best friend just comes, hugs me, and says he loves me. And the whole time I felt so unloved, and I had people that loved me this whole time. A month later, I get baptized. And it's the first time I really said I was a Christian, and I'm gonna be honest here, I got baptized, so I was at this high, and then I kept sinning, and I felt so low. I was like, God could never love me again. I really just wasted this opportunity. He saved my life, but I'm just sinning, and I'm going to these things that I've always done, and I would just I would just fall, and I just kept feeling unworthy, and I was lost, and at night I would go out, I would do these things, and I lived 2 different lives after Jesus saved me, and it kept going, and I would get on these highs and I'd go on these lows, and it just kept going and going. I know there was purpose in that, but it just kept pulling me away from God, and then come January, around my birthday, I went to Savant Rock the Universe, and we saw Josiah Queen, and he played this song called Fishes and Loaves. I don't know if you ever heard it. If you haven't, you need to hear it. This song, it's in this perspective of the kid that gave his 2 fish and 5 loaves to Jesus. It was talking about like, my heart is uneasy, but I give you control. I know it's not much, but I know what I owe. I'll give you all my fishes and loaves. And it was like, this whole time I was thinking of more of a works-based faith, but it's really God gifted me eternal life. Like, I can't earn it. I could never do anything to earn it, but Jesus Christ took my place on the cross and gifted me eternal life. He died so I can live. And I just like, I was recording all these songs, like all the performances, because Josiah Queen's my cousin's like favorite artist. And I wanted him to be able to have memories, and it was like, just put the phone down for this one song. So I did, and it just hit me, and I completely just what I needed to come back to Christ, because I was a Christian, of course, but I wasn't living for Christ. I wasn't putting down my will for His will. But since then, I've struggled. But that's the thing. No matter how much I struggle, Jesus Christ paid the way for me to be righteous. Through Christ, I am righteous. I know we all fall short of the glory of God. We all fall short. We all sin. But Jesus Christ, He sacrificed Himself so you can live. Like, if there's one thing you take from this video, don't take my story. Don't take all these details. Don't be like, oh, I feel bad for him. Because things I've done has pushed me to the place I am right now. My past is what brought me here. My past is what brought me to Jesus. He set a plan so I could do things with my story. I'm just a vessel for Him. This video is not to glorify myself, because there's nothing to glorify. I'm broken. I'm lost. I get depressed. But when I'm in the Word, when I come back to Jesus, I'm washed. I'm washed from all the sins I've committed. I'm a new person. And if you get anything from this video, just know that you're loved. You can't earn your way into heaven. You can't, no matter what you do. But the good news is, Jesus Christ humbled Himself as a human being. He suffered this pain, this death. He suffered so you can live. He took your place on the cross so that you could get into heaven, so that you know that you're loved. For all my life, I felt so unloved. I felt unworthy. I felt like an embarrassment to my mom. Like I would end up like my father. But the whole time, God has just, He's been calling me, and this whole time I've hardened my heart. But the moment when I was at my lowest, I said, God, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to feel this way anymore. And he just says, son, I love you. Just come back to me. I know you can't do it on your own. So let me help you. Let me do it for you. Give Him the pain. He wants your pain. He wants your anxiety. He wants your depression. Because He loves you. He loves me. What could I do to deserve that? Nothing. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. But He shows me that no matter if I deserve it or not, He's gonna do it. I don't know what you're going through, but God knows, and He wants you to give those pains and struggles to Him. He doesn't want you holding that burden. Just give it to Him. Before I end this video, I just want you to know that I love you. God loves you. And there's people in your life that love you. If you don't feel that you're loved, then just know that there's a Father. There's a Father that loves you so much.